I hope you can hear me okay, and that I have sound and everything. I am planning to make, or like start out, a journal with a curved spine, and I have made these. I'm going to show you. I'm going to go over to my work scene, it's called in this program. Let's see here. Here's my working scene. I've made these curved pieces of chipboard. That's going to be my spine, this is actually for 2 journals, but I'm only making 1 today. And the papers that I have prepared are for another format. I'm going to cut these pieces off of most of them, and I'm going to glue them together, and I'm going to make a journal this size. And for that I'm going to use this here. Is how I am making the curve of this curved spine. I have never tried this before, so we're going to try it out and see how it works out. So this is like a packaging for when you're sending like large prints or whatever in the mail. Just a paper chipboard tube that I put a plastic bag on top of it, just to protect it from the water, because I used water on the chipboard to make it soft, and then I added it to the pipe to give it like a curve. And from what I can see, this is crooked. Yeah, it is crooked. So I'm not really sure, and it's not completely dry either. Maybe we can just bend it into the shape we want. But that's what I did with these. But I used like a bottle for olive oil that was empty, but the bottle was too small for this one, because it's quite longer. Yeah, so I used the pipe instead, and I don't know. Yeah, I think I can just bend it into shape. So I'm going to dry this. I'm going to get my hair dryer, and I'm going to dry this. Just give me 1 second. And I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. Before I have, oops, something happened to my lights. There we go. I have like dried something on top of my plastic craft mat, and then it melted. And got like a curve to it, so I can't use the measurements anymore. So I had to buy a new one, and that's really annoying. So I'm not going to do that mistake, make that mistake again. So, but I need to dry this. So I'm just going to hold it aside, and I'm going to mute you guys just so you don't have to listen to the hairdryer. I hope that it's dry enough, and as you can see it has split up a little bit, but I think that it's just to glue it back together and it will be fine. So that's what I'm going to do. And the glue bottle is clogged as usual, and I don't think of fixing this before I start the stream. It's like the same thing every single time. And it's so annoying. How about a clog-free glue bottle? I would like that a lot. Oh, hey Matilda! Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. So, just gonna wipe this off so I don't glue this to something. So, and the paper is not completely dry, but it will dry eventually, so I'm not really worried. And we might have to like work in the A5 format instead if this doesn't work out, but it's going to be fine. And yeah, and it's kind of different anyhow. This journal is for me, so I don't really need to think that it should be perfect, like when it's a journal for sale. Then, you know, when it's for someone else in general, I want it to be, you know, like little step higher than when I'm making things for myself. So which is kind of funny anyway. You would like the best stuff for yourself too, I guess, or should want the best stuff. So here's our rounded spine. I'm not really sure if I think I should dry this more, just to, yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to mute you a little bit more. Well, how was my day? It's been a really good day today, even though we didn't have that much sun. We just, yeah, had a slow day at home, me and Ivar, my son, and then we went to the mall just to do some grocery shopping. And yeah, I went to Tiger and I got some really nice stickers and some bookmarks. Aren't these the cutest in the world right now? Unicorns and rainbows and stars. These were 10 Swedish crowns, and it's a little bit more than $1. Super cute. So I got 2 of these, and these flamingos, and this is going to be perfect for like a summer themed album. I made one last summer for our vacation, and we are not going anywhere in particular this summer, so I'm going to make like a summer album for what we were doing. So these stickers are perfect for that. And then I just got these really vintage, excuse me, cat images, and like these more farm animals, and there's one cat and a bunny, some guinea pigs. So I thought that was really cool. And these are 2 for 10 Swedish crowns. So really good stuff. So that's my micro haul. And I could show you, and I got these as well, and these are perfect for junk journals. Just look at the images, and this I got from like a local second-hand thrift store or whatever. Look, really beautiful images. So I'm going to use some of these in the journal, just for some embellishments. And there's also like black and white images, more instructive images. So maybe that was in the other, yeah, like here, how you arrange a garden and stuff, where you should put these plants. So these were great. Oh, hi Fiona. And these mushrooms, I'm kind of sad I didn't have this book when I made like the wood themed journal, but I guess I can make another one, because these are so woodsy. I like the images are so detailed. So this is like what I spend my money on at the moment. Stickers and stuff. So I think this is dry enough for this. It's a little bit soft here, but I think it's going to be fine anyway. So we're going to, I made one piece of the cover, and I'm going to have to use another. Let's see if it's, yeah, I think this is straight enough now. Going to put some stuff aside, and I'm not going to get my tea this time. I forget the tea bag in, and then the tea gets, it's not sour. I don't know the word for that. That's bitter. You can always glue one of the mushroom paper to a coffee dyed paper in that wood. Yeah, I guess I could. On the other hand, I can make more journals. I have already made a lot of tags for that album, so, but yeah, I might have to go in there again. The beautiful unicorn stickers, I think I'm going to go inside my pastel journal that had sort of a circusy look to it and make it more unicorny, I think. So that's another project that I'm going to have to look into. Yeah, so I'm going to make another cover, and that's my son. He's about to go to sleep, and he has like a face right now when he's like always calling for me, even though his dad is there. So we decided together that I shouldn't go in, because it's really hard not to, you know, but I should trust my husband enough to handle the situation, and I think in the long run it's better to, you know, to trust him to handle it by himself. I think I'm making it worse by running in, even though I do that sometimes, so just check on that. So yeah, that's always something. So this is just some of the leftover, what's it called, passepartout, in English, from like the frame shop close by. He also sells like craft supplies or like artist supplies there. So when I got some glue and other stuff from him, I asked if he had some leftover pieces, and yes, he did. My craft room is like filled with these. This is just some of it. I have like tons here. It's super good quality, so I guess I'm set for another year or so with these chipboard pieces. So here is my curved spine. So I guess that it's just to like glue it together in the same. I can see that it's crooked now. But you know, I think that I'm just going to go with it. Is that how you say it? And try it out as we move on and see how it works out. I think it's going to be fine, even though it's a bit crooked. I don't think it matters. It's matte board. Oh, it's called matte board. Yeah, okay. Passepartout is French, I think. So, but that's the word they use in Sweden for that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's really good quality stuff, and I am truly blessed to get it for free. I really can't remember here. I was looking for my Tyvek envelopes. And here's this scissor. I still haven't found my black Sharpie scissor, and that's so incredibly annoying. So I've tried like different stuff. I have like a nail scissors, very sharp, but it's curved. And I have like another, I think this is for cutting. I'm not really sure, but it also is nowhere near my Sharpie. I really miss my Sharpie. So eventually I'm going to have to buy a new one. So I think this is a good, well, it's too short for this. I guess I could like patch it together. Dum. Let's see, and I used up all my like regular craft glue. I made an attempt on paper clay, and I don't really know how it's supposed to be, but I didn't really like how it turned out. On the other hand, I didn't use like a mixer. I used like electric whisker, is that what it's called? You know, use it for whisking like whipped cream and stuff, or whipping cream. So I guess the paper pieces didn't get small enough or something, I don't know. But I had made an attempt on a like fairy house or whatever. It was just a bit strange and lumpy, I guess, but some stuff I just have to try. And it could have been, but yeah, so I totally ran out of glue. except this stuff, and I'm going to have to order more soon. Anyhow. And I guess the really tiny nib is a good thing, but you have to squeeze it like crazy just to get something out of it. So before I had one with a bigger nib, but it didn't really work out. It got clogged as well. I think it's the cap. You know, there's dried glue in the cap, and when you push it down, you like push dried glue inside the bottle. Not very clever. So here, and this is always so when you're experimenting like this. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. Like aside from gluing paper together, but I think you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? And this is really tricky because this curve doesn't really want to work like normal flat paper does. So that's something new. See what I'm doing? Yeah, I hope so. I hope that I am in frame. But I think this is going to work out as long as I make enough room here for it to like open and close. Maybe. So that's our first piece. And I guess when the book, lies flat, it's not going to really lie flat. It's going to be a bit curved. I don't really know how to fix that. And I don't know if like curved books actually lie flat or... Well, this one is not going to do that. Let's just keep that. So I'm getting some more toilet paper. Try a pinner needle inserted into the muscle. Yeah, I do that most of the time. The problem with that is that I push like the clog back into the bottle, and it like goes around there, and then it comes back out, and it gets clogged again and again and again. So I think the best way so far that I have can you use any paper to join it together? Like the covers? I think you mean here? I'm not really sure now. I'm really slow at reading the chat, guys. I'm sorry about that. I should like get a bigger screen or something so I can see when something pops up right away. Yes, well, I'm going to cover it all with paper later on, I guess. And I was thinking that the paper is going to be, it's not going to be glued down here. It's going to be like glued here and glued here. So it like covers this part, but that it's loose. Like, you know, one of these books. It has a gap. So, and I guess I could make like one of these things as well. And now that I should have looked at this before. It's the same thing with this one. That this part is actually quite soft. It's like curved, but it's soft, so it's like this part that's curved. This is really cool. It's like cut out newspapers that came with the book, and I didn't really found that out until I bought it and got it with me home. And like, it's in French, but I think that the newspaper is this is like a German newspaper and the book is in French. So that was kind of fun. But I should have looked at the books before. I'm not sure about the spine anymore, but we're just going to keep going to see how it's going to turn out, you know. And I don't think it's going to be a disaster. I think it's going to be quite nice anyway, even though maybe it's going to be like a little bit annoying to work on it. But I'm fine with that, so. And I was thinking that I was going to use it like a personal, more like a diary, but also like photo album, but just for me to remember things. Oh, I'm getting I haven't plugged my computer in. Let's see what I can take out. Oh, this one. There we go. So you are using any paper to join it together. This I'm using Tyvek to join it together here, just because it needs to be very strong, because this is going to be like opened and folded a million times, and it's like the most durable material I have found, except from, I guess fabric is also durable in the same way, but Tyvek is thinner and more paper-like. So that's what's important. I think that it's durable enough, and I've heard that there are similar things to Tyvek that you can use, but I'm not really sure what it's called. But it's more specific for crafting. These are like letter bags or paper bags or whatever, like envelopes, and they have like little strange shapes to them that I have to work around. So but I guess you could use any other paper, but it wouldn't be as durable, of course. But before I got Tyvek envelopes, they are kind of tricky to get a hold of in Sweden, unless you want to buy like 100 of them, and that's what I did in the end. Then I used fabric, like very thin polyester, like what you use on the inside of clothing for the lining, or like organza, also very thin, like more of a netted fabric, and I think that it worked out fine. It didn't make anything bulky, but it's kind of tricky to glue, so I used like fabric glue instead, and yeah, it was really messy, and fabric glue, at least the one that I had, stained like crazy if it got anywhere, and it like dried very brownish yellow, like looked really dirty, so I had to be incredibly careful with that when I was gluing. So that was kind of annoying, but fabric works as well. And I'm going to use fabric to cover this journal. Just because I was thinking that I'm going to work on it a lot, and that I like how durable it is. And also I have like worked a lot with tea staining lately, and I really like how that looks, like old and tattered. I'm still in my vintage phase, I guess. But sometimes, like the unicorns, I want something like bright, or not really bright, more like crisp and pastel, but with like white accents. I think that's beautiful too. So trying to get the cap on. There we go. So, and I think we're going to have like a slow day tomorrow as well. I'm on summer break since I'm a student, but I also work for this temp agency. But work has been really slow during summer. I think I've been working like 3.5 hours or something like that. So, and they called and asked if well, it's like a temp agency for preschools, because I'm going to be a preschool teacher. But they called and asked if I wanted to work with like older kids, like 1st and 2nd class, and like something the year before you're starting actual school, when you're 6 years old. They have like a preparing prep school. I'm not really sure what it's called, but it's like preschool class, I guess. So this is the start of a cover, and I'm just going to keep it like this. Well, I dropped my thread there. I was going to say that I was hoping that something more will turn up now that I'm going a bit wider. Oh, thank you, Fiona. Yeah, I loved making like the ship nautical journal as well. Like many of the ships were amazing images of the ships, and it's very, the sea is very mysterious, and I also got a lot of that paper from Bloomfern Studios left, like the seashells and stuff, because when I was working it got so grungy and had like more of a masculine feeling to it, and the papers I have, let's see if I can find them here, were more, I don't know, they feel like more feminine somehow, with the pinks and like these seashells. So I didn't really got to use them. I used one sheet for that journal, and then the rest is coffee stained papers and other stuff, and that's fine too, of course. But you know, I got them to use them in the journal, and then I didn't. So here's the, oh, hi April. Here's the fabric that I have stained for this journal. It's just I think it's called muslin. It's just a white like cotton fabric. I got this from IKEA, and it's about $2.50 or something like that for a meter, and that's a little bit more than a yard, I think. I think you should be able to get this in the US as well, but I know you have your sources for cheap fabrics, I'm sure. So, and when I have tea stained this in like 2 phases, I guess you could say, like one tea stain for like the base tone, and then it was like semi-dried, and then I made the little spots on it, and then I like hand washed it again just to make it more of a muted what do you say, yeah, more of a muted tone, more like that it's very well loved. So we're just going to add a bunch of glue here and here where it's not really glued together. I think I'm going to have to make like a little snip here. So, there we go. So yeah, we're going to add lots of glue here and then put the fabric on top. So I'm going to use my like glue mat or whatever this is. Looks nice and vintage. Yeah, thanks. That's what I was going for. So let's see if I have a brush here. And this is the cap I couldn't figure out. Still haven't. So, wow, this is really dirty. We're getting another brush. This should be better. I think that I should like start here and then go out to the sides. Just so. And maybe like go into the creases as well. And I think that the Tyvek is going to shine through, or like it's going to be ridges. Maybe I should add something underneath. I think that it could be, but I really like the collage fronts or covers so much, and that's really what I was going for. I was thinking to add like laces and buttons, because that's my favorite way to do things, or covers. So I'm just going to like add glue into the creases here on the side, on both sides. And I'm going to let the glue dry a little bit, just to make sure it doesn't bleed through the the fabric, because that doesn't really look very good. It looks kinda, I don't know, it doesn't really add to the vintage feel, it just looks crappy, I think, when it's glue stained. So now I'm just going to, this is scary. I'm sorry, I just keep like punching the microphone. I hope that it's not too bad. So yeah, we can clearly see the Tyvek through the fabric, but I don't think that's going to be a huge problem. So, and I'm getting the fabric down into the crease here. I guess I could use this little tool here. This. And then I'm going to do the same to the other side. Here you can clearly see that the spine is a bit crooked, but I don't really think that it's going to matter. I think that it's going to, like, if you just bend it a bit, it's going to correct itself over time, or at least I hope so. Yeah, I love laces, love laces. I keep buying these beautiful laces from eBay, like from China, and I have quite of a stash now, and for some reason I keep using like the same ones in every project, and you know, I hoard a lot. And one of the strange things are that I love a lot of those laces that I hoard. I like never get to use them because I want to save them, but on the same, yeah, I think it's kind of strange. You should like use the things that you love so much, but yeah. And you know, if I run out, I can just buy more, so it's strange. I have to, but I have decided that I'm not going to buy more stuff, and you know, I keep buying more stuff anyhow. I bought stickers and stuff today, but I'm trying so much to use up my stash and not, you know, run out and buy stuff, because I'm like the expert hoarder. I love thinking about crafting and buying stuff for like a new project and not even touch it, or just flip through a million times and think about what I'm going to do, and then like, I don't know, it's like I get over it before I even get started. And it's kind of sad, because lots of you know, projects that you think about and shop for are really nice. So yeah, I'm really trying to use my stash as much as possible. Yeah. I think it's a thing that all the crafters do in some ways, like and those who sell craft supplies, I think that it's a great business, because you know what they are really selling is like dreams. You don't sell a finished product, you only like sell what people think that they are going to make rather than a finished product. So no one can really return something, because you know, when they make it at home and fail at it, it's not your fault. I don't know. So like this. Actually, you know, it's not perfect, but it adds to the grunginess much. So, okay, I'm getting like error messages from my streaming client. Is the stream looking okay, or is something happening? Something strange happening? Yeah, I think I got some bridal appliques, and I think I still have them in my stash, or it's actually more, it's not really appliques, it's like a lace trim, but it is like several flower appliques, and I use them sometimes, but you know, if you use them, that's one of the problems as well, that when I get like these beautiful trims, or like trim made of appliques, it's like I want to use them in every project, but it gets very repeating as well. So it's like you need to have 100 of them so you can like rotate and use different things every time. So gonna run for a bit, it's lunch and I have to take some more scrap. Oh, bye April, have a good day. I guess it's a day over where you are right now if you're having lunch. We had dinner like 2 hours ago maybe. It's been a really long day, a very fun day still, but it was a really long day. You know, my son is 3 and he really keeps me going, and if I look away today, he took like a pack of oats from what you use to make oatmeal and pour it all over the coffee table, and then he like stood there and ate them. And I just looked away for like 10 minutes. Yes, put it right in craft ice so you can make it different. Yes, exactly. And something that I realized when we moved is that you have no idea how big your stash is until you try to move it. Oh yes, he did. And you know, I don't really get angry at him for like making stuff like that. He does that a lot, and it like pours stuff on the floor, and it's more like, wouldn't you like a plate for that? And I can cook it for you if you're hungry. So, but yeah, and I like turned my back and did something else. I think that, oh no, actually what happened is that I fell asleep on the couch for like 10 minutes or something because I was so tired. I woke up in the middle of the night. Yesterday I fell asleep together with him, and then I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't go back to sleep. So that's another reason for the day being so long, is that I woke up at like 3 AM or something. So yeah, I accidentally fell asleep on the couch and I woke to him standing eating oats. So but still we had some fun cleaning it up together as well. He's really good at that, and I can like make him do anything with high fives. So It's going to be worse when he's like 7 or something. Then I need bigger bribes than high fives. So we're cutting off the corners here. And as you can see, this is a really bad scissor too. I've hardly slept all night and it's 5 AM now. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm usually like a night owl. I like to sit up really late, and I guess that's why I get so tired sometimes. It's like when I do that a few nights in a row, I mean stay up late, then eventually I get so tired that I fall asleep together with Ivar, and then for some reason I can't sleep through the night, you know. I should be able to sleep like 5 hours because I can do that when I'm sleeping in, and you know, when there's nothing. I'm sorry guys, that's my phone and it's kind of late, so I have to check who that is. Okay, I don't have to take that call now. Not at 9 in the evening, at least. But I'm going to send a text and ask what it was all about. I'm not really sure that I need to use this much glue. I probably don't. But we're doing it right now just to like get it to really stick there. So I found out that when it's curved like this, you can't really just glue stuff on it straight, because it's going to be, you know, the curve like makes the fabric and papers to act a little bit different. As you can see here, got like a fold or whatever you can call that, and that's new. And here I made a tiny little mistake. I need to re-glue this here. Oh, this is so annoying, so annoying. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep using this much glue. Might be best. And it doesn't really seem to bleed through the fabric either, so I guess that's a good thing. It does move around a little bit. That's annoying. Oh, I'm not in frame either. I'm sorry. I forgot about making guides on my table again. Really should work on that, but I don't know, maybe I should for a project that's this big. Maybe I should have the camera higher so you can get the whole project in frame. I don't know what's best. That's a PVA white. Oh yeah, it's PVA white glue, and it doesn't. I think that it's bleeding through some stuff, but not really. Or maybe it's when I use too much. But yes, it could be that I'm using good glue. There we go. I'm going to fold this. I have to make sure this little corner gets tucked neatly in there. So can you see what I'm doing? No. We're getting somewhere, at least with this. But the process with a brush and glue like this is also a bit, takes a lot of time. I don't know if I would do this with double-sided tape, you know, for if I had a paper cover I can do this with double-sided tape, but I don't know if I would attempt to make a curved spine with double-sided tape. I think that, or with the paper, maybe I could like cover the sides with paper and do like fabric only on the spine for that. Guess it could be interesting. Oh, I've forgotten about my tea. It's probably stone cold by now. Even though I have the largest teacup in the world. Yeah, it's cold. Oh, too bad. I do that all the time. You know, something that I do almost every day is like set the kettle on and go do something else and forget that I'm about to make tea. And I can like boil the kettle like 4 times or 5 times. Oh, here I didn't get a little bleed, but I used too much glue here. And then when I finally make the tea, then I forget the tea bag in the tea and it sits too long, so it gets bitter. So not every day, but that happens a lot. So today I have like boiled the kettle 3 times, but I haven't had tea until now. Maybe that's also a reason why I've been so tired. I want the glue that's like on the top of the brush. There's only, you know, glue left in the bottom of the bottle. It seems to be something weird going on with my internet connection. I hope that you can still hear me okay and that there's nothing going on with the stream. I don't know. I saw Christy's video of her birthday gifts from you sent to her. Oh, she received them! I haven't seen the video yet. I have to run in and watch that after the stream. You know, I didn't send it as a traced package, I just sent it as a normal package because it wasn't really big. And then I like changed my mind because, you know, it's okay, only for a few, okay, only for a few seconds. And then you go think about if it's lost in the mail or what happened to it, and you know, the mail really gets where it's supposed to go, and yeah, I'm really happy. But oh, I'm so excited. I have to go in and watch a video later. Oh, and the tassel, it's like the same kind that the one that I made for my the blue journal with the ships, but in different fabrics, like more laces. And is this glue stains? No, it's just, oh, I've worked with blue Fimo clay on this, and I got some tiny blue stains here, but I think it's going to be okay. I'm going to. So this is what it looks like, and the Tyvek shines right through. I should have covered like all of it in Tyvek instead, but I think it's going to be fine. I'm going to do like a big collage thing on top. And I have some fabrics and stuff. So I have this. I love this. I've used this in quite a few of my projects. Maybe this is going to be like the base. Maybe we're going to, because I was thinking that we should do like a creamy white journal, but yeah, we're going to focus on the inside just to make sure this works out first, I think. Yeah, that's what we're doing. And I don't really like this corner here. I'm going to have to do something about that. And I have to go wash my brush out because I didn't plan ahead. Usually I do that, and I have like a cup of water on my desk just to like put it in so I can clean it up after the stream. Two of the laces you sent, Christy, I also have of eBay, the tiny dangle trim. Yeah, it's eBay trims. Most of the like very big trims I get, or the appliques and stuff, are from eBay because they get so incredibly expensive if you try to buy them from like a fabric store, at least in Sweden, or from Panduro. That's our like biggest craft store here. It's not almost not worth it, you know. If you buy like a kit for making a bracelet, it's more expensive than an actual bracelet. It's like you're paying for the opportunity to make it yourself. It's crazy. So, and then I saw like a crafter. Oh, I got this from China, and I was like, oh, you can get things from China? And I bought like so much stuff, and I got things every day for months. It was so much fun, and I got the opportunity to build a stash. So yeah, that's like the crafter's dream. And I have ordered a lot of washi from eBay that I have been waiting for about a month, so it should turn up any day now. I get mine off eBay and a lot from Facebook group Lucius. Oh, Lucius Laces, I've heard about that. I'm afraid though that most of it's going to be like monster shipping for me. So hang on 1 second. My hubby is taking care of the brush. He's so nice. So I was thinking that this we could let this dry for a little bit, and we're going to work on the papers. They have this part here, so I'm going to cut that off. So I'm going to take out the monster, my huge cutter. So I think I have to take like a few of them at a time. Tack älskling. Going to cut back the edge off, and it's not going to be perfect, but not that kind of journal, and we're not going to make that much embellishing on the inside because I'm going to like do that as a part of my journaling process. And I'm also going to like, I don't know why it's like that, but this one is like acting out. Has been acting out lately. So let's see. I don't know. There we go. We're going to glue the papers together so I can make signatures of them, because, and this is simply because when I was looking through my stash for paper, because I don't like to use like normal copy paper for junk journals, because it gets very brittle and gets easily ripped and damaged. When you first, the water process makes it even more brittle, and it's not acid free, so it's going to fall together in the end. But I didn't have any of the paper that I usually use. It's like a bamboo paper that's kind of thick, really good quality. I kind of lost my thread there. Yeah, usually I use like the A4 format papers, and it's like a pad. It looks like this, but it's A4 size, and this is not. But I didn't have any of the A4 left, and I've used this and I folded it in other journals, but I want a big journal. So I decided to try to glue it together to like get big spreads. So it might be something and it might be impossible, and we'll just have to see about that. Maybe I could use like a lace to glue it together so it gets easy to sew through. I might have some lace that I don't use that much. I think that I'm going to use like, but it's so incredibly white. Maybe this one is better in that case. But I have to make sure that it sticks together. And do I have enough for all of these paper pages? And it's going to look like this. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do instead of, because I was thinking that I just glued the papers like this, and the problem is that the paper is going to get really thick, so when I try to poke holes through them, it's going to be kind of difficult. Or I could use strips of fabric as well, I guess. But lace is going to be much more pretty, so I think that that's what I'm going to do. And I haven't used much of this lace anyway, so I think it's time to, I could like use only one side of it, maybe. The problem is it enough to keep it together? Do I need to do it on both sides? Will I sit here forever? What do you think? It's looking good too. I consider it's the first time you've tried the curse by. Oh, thank you. I saw a great tutorial on joining single pages together. She used 1.5 inch strip of paper as a join and edge punch it with a. Oh yeah, that's really clever. And I think that it could be like better than the lace, because the glue is going to bleed through, and if it's not completely dry, then it's going to be difficult. But I could just actually, I think I'm going to use the lace. I really like the lace, so we're doing that. You just have to be careful with the glue. So yeah, it was a great idea, actually. I think one of the problems with my punches is that they only have like one of the decorative part. So if I were to like punch the edges of a strip on both sides, we would probably sit here until tomorrow. So, you know, I have punched edges on my first like junk journal that I made. I punched the edges and it took forever. I was watching like 2 episodes of, I don't remember what kind of, it was a TV series, and you know, it doesn't really bother me. That's something that takes a lot of time, because I love doing other stuff meanwhile. But you know, I think it gets really repeating to watch on a live stream someone who's like punching through a million pieces of paper. So this is a little bit faster. But it was a great idea, really. So I think I'm going to use that in another journal. Here's a problem. It won't really stick. It did stick fine on the other side, so I don't really understand why it doesn't on this side. And I get like a ton of glue on my fingers. And I think that it's enough with lace on one side. So like, I don't know. Yeah, it should be enough. I think so. And we just have to like put them on different sides so it doesn't get like always on the same side. If I'm making any sense. I don't know, maybe I should use hot glue for this. We could, but on the other hand it's going to peep through. Maybe I should use another lace. I could use like different laces. I think that will give it a nice effect. And this lace is very sheer looking. I think that I'm going to take my glue gun and more of a cotton lace just for the speed, to make it a little faster, because this is annoying. What if I do this? What's going to happen? Nothing happened. I watched so many tutorials since being sick, so I forget if we did. Oh, I'm sorry you've been sick. But if you're not too sick, I think it's kind of nice to just stay home being sick and watch videos. But when you are too sick, then you can't really, you know, appreciate the time you have. Then you are just... Before I had kids, or I have one kid, but still I thought it was kind of nice to be sick, because then I could stay home, watch TV all day. But when you have a kid, most of the time it means that you have to stay home and look after your kid. No matter how sick you are. So at least I can like having at daycare when I'm sick. But usually he stays home unless I have like a stomach flu or something. And most of the time, or last time, we all got the stomach flu at the same time. Or me and my son got it, and then when I got better, my husband got it. So at least we didn't get it at the same time, all of us, but still. It was really bad. This is going to take forever. We almost have one signature, and this is what's left. I'm going to have to speed this up a bit. But I don't really like, I know how it looks with this lace and my glue gun, and I don't really like how that looks. So where's my needle? Or my pin? It's gone. Of course, like everything else that I want at the moment. it just gets lost. I think I have like gnomes or something. I'm going to use this pin. So I'm going to use some of this lace because I think this will look better with a glue gun. So it's going to be a little bit faster. I'm a little bit impatient because I want to start working on the cover because that's the part that's fun, or at least I think so. And my glue gun is getting really old, so I have to like help pushing it a bit. If you're wondering what I'm doing when I like poking it here. It would probably just have been easier to go with my original idea to like glue the papers together. But in the end, I think this is going to look more pretty. So I'm going to stick with it now. And this lace is beautiful. And I have glue all over my fingers. I wonder if this is going to stick together. But on the other hand, it doesn't really, I can always patch it together. You know, it's worse if you like sell a journal and they get back to you and like, hey, the journal that you made me, it's all falling apart. That will be very embarrassing, but when it's just mine, then I can just glue it together again. So I guess that's fine. And as you can see, the papers doesn't really match up together. I mean here on the ends, because I didn't cut them perfectly. But I don't really think that matters that much. Here we go. The glue gun might just need a clean out. Well, I think you're right. It might be that. But I think also that this is a different brand than the glue gun. And I think that they are a bit thinner than what the glue gun is made for. So when it pushes, it doesn't really grab onto the glue sticks. It might be something like that. I'm not sure. I'm going to like save the last piece and use some. I think I'm going to use some of this like dirty fabric as well for like a variation, because that's what I like the most with Shabby Chic, that it's like both dirty and stained, and then it's like these very beautiful worked laces and, you know, expensive buttons, and yeah. And I guess that's the whole charm with Shabby Chic. Besides from vintage, I mean. But I'm going to try to get like the right kind of glue sticks. It's not that they are very expensive or anything, it's just that when I go shopping at Tiger, they have glue sticks, so I buy them there. But the glue gun is from Biltema, like a different store, and I don't really go there to shop because it's basically a warehouse for building and car pieces and stuff, and I don't even have a driver's license, so I have no reason to go shopping there, really. Let's see if I can find another lace that we can use. How about this one? Looks a little bit crooked. I don't know. No, I think it's okay. And we can use this one as well. I have like tons and tons of this stuff. So we'll use some of that. My fingers is just getting prettier and prettier. Dun, 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 dun. And the local pool opened. I didn't really know they've been open for quite a while, and my son really loves to go there. So we went there yesterday. I have like light sensitive eyes and like very sensitive skin from the sun. I have like I'm like a strawberry blonde natural hair, so I never really get tanned. I always just get red and get freckles everywhere. So I like smudge sunscreen all over my body as much as I can, and I forgot my sunglasses, so I just walked around squinting like a crazy person, and then I got a headache afterwards. So, but we had a lot of fun, and we moved here quite recently, so I don't really know any people around here, so it's a good opportunity to like talk to people from around here, I guess. But it's kind of hard to focus on anything else than like running after my son, because he's like, you know, getting into the water, getting up, running around, taking another pool, getting into the water, back and forth, and like, mom, bathe here, bathe here. Yeah, okay. So I get into the water, and then I catch him like 2 times, and then he goes to like the baby pool and does the same thing there, swims around a little bit. So it's mostly like climbing into the pool, climbing out of the pool, and I still like got burned on my shoulders. So, and I'm like, oh, come on, let's have a break for some ice cream, and like it's the only time ever that he doesn't want ice cream. And he says like, no ice cream, no ice cream. Come into the water. But I guess it's good. When he's older, we can swim together and stuff. So I get a little bit of a workout as well. I'm in Australia and I'm fair-skinned, and as our sun is so harsh, I do my best to stay out of the sun and have loads of sunscreen. Yes. Oh, in Australia, I think that's a lot of people with fair skin in Australia, isn't that right? A lot of people, I think, have like heritage from England and like Scandinavia. So I guess it's kind of usual. I've heard, at least. Meant to say summer, they're not here. It's winter here. Oh, okay. Well, we have winter is like, it used to be lots of snow. Now it's, you know, not really sure if it's going to be snow. Sometimes it's not snowing until spring. It's very, very odd nowadays here. You know, I can still remember from when I was a kid how there used to be more snow and stuff, and now it was warmer on New Year's Eve than like in midsummer last year. It was crazy. I think it snowed on midsummer, and that's in June last year. I think it was warmer this year, but still there's some really weird stuff going on with the weather, I can tell you that. And we have always had like acting out weather, or weather acting out. I don't know how to say it. Spell it out for you. So that's kind of odd, but I really, really love snowy winters, and like when you can go skiing and stuff. And my son loves it too. He doesn't ski, he likes sits on a sleigh. Last winter he went downhill and hit his chin in like a bench, and it was like a real horror moment for me. Yeah, the seasons are really changing all around the world, I've heard. It's really odd, or not really odd, but yeah, so that the moment when I saw him like hit the bench with his chin, I couldn't really see which part of his face it was that you know, hit the bench. And he was like lying face down in the snow, crying like crazy. And I was so scared when I like flipped him around, because I didn't know what kind of face he would have. But yeah, it was fun. No, it wasn't fun. It was fine. He just had like he scraped his chin. What is that? Scrub? I don't know. But yeah, he scraped his chin, all his nose and teeth and everything that you're scared has been damaged were intact. So yeah, it was fun. Fine. Not fun. Fine. But a really scary moment as a mom. And they've, you know, gone down the same hill several times before. The thing was that like the snow got packed, so they were going down faster and faster, but you know, the difference wasn't that big until, you know, they had a lot of speed all of a sudden. He was sitting on the neighbor's daughter's lap going downhill, so, and she fell as well, but she didn't hit herself in the bench, and she was crying too, just because she was really scared, I guess. I would too. We're almost done. I'm going to get another glue stick here, and I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to split it in two just to make the pushing easier, so I don't have to like extend my thumb so far. And I really hope this is going to turn out to something now when I have like worked on it so much. It's going to be something, but yeah. I was really relieved when I like flipped him around and didn't see any blood, and you know, trying to look inside like a 2.5-year-old's mouth isn't that easy, especially not when they are crying. You know, just to look for the teeth are intact, but everything was okay. So, and we had another incident, but that he was still like, you know, in between a toddler and a baby. Maybe he was 8 months or something. He was trying to walk. I don't think he hadn't really started walking yet, but he was like standing up and stuff, and he tried to stand up inside like a plastic the storage box, and it didn't work out, of course, so he fell and hit his head on the thing that is, you know, in the door between like the floor in 2 rooms. I can't remember what it's called, but hi, Raggedy Girl. So I could go through a little bit what we're doing, if you're interested. I'm making a journal with a curved spine, and it's a fabric cover journal, and I have glued it together here with Tyvek, and this is like a muslin tea-stained thing. And now I am gluing my papers together so I can make signatures with these later on when we have our... I'm going to check how many I've made already, just so we don't make like 100 and then it's going to be full or something. So I was thinking like one signature could be like 10 pages, five of these. And here's 3, 4, 5. Use this pink one instead. Like that. And here's one signature. I don't think this is going to be a problem. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here's 2. So this is probably not going to be more than 3 signatures, but I'm going to add some other papers as well. And I'm not sure if it's going to be okay looking like this. We'll just have to see how it looks. I might have to do something about the edges. Or maybe I can hide them somehow. I don't know. We'll have to see. And the glue has time to dry. Oh, oops. Well, here's some glue. I need to get this worked out somehow. This is so annoying. Well, until my next stream, I'm going to fix the glue gun issue. And I don't remember if it worked out before when I got these, or if this is like, because I was thinking about what you said, that it might need to be cleaned out because there's some leftover glue here on the sides. Maybe that's what's like stopping it from working correctly. And how do you clean your glue gun? Should I like blast it with heat or something? I've never done that. Maybe I should look up a tutorial or something on how to clean your glue gun. I've never thought about it as a tool you need to clean out, really. I'll have to look into it. When you see in the signatures, are you going to sew through the middle of the lace you used to join the pages? Yes, I'm going to sew through. I have like a cotton thread that I'm using for sewing signatures, and I'm going to just poke through the lace and see how that works out. And if it doesn't work, then I will have to think about something else, of course. Maybe use my sewing machine or something, but I'm not going to take that out on the stream because it's like big, bulky and makes a lot of noise. But I'm going to just try to sew through with the needle and my cotton thread. to see how that works out. Oh my God. And yeah, I hate autocorrect too, especially when I try to type in English and it like corrects into Swedish words. So if you're trying to like write post and it's turned, or I don't know, I can't really get a good example. I tried to write something the other day and it made in like mashed potatoes in Swedish, and it was really far away from what I was trying to say, but at least it doesn't type. I read some of those, there's like a site called Damn You Autocorrect, and mostly that's like people trying to write something normal and it turns into dirty words. At least it's not doing that, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, you know. So I'm just going to do one with like a strip of paper, just because I ran out of lace. I'm so happy to, you know, finally finish this. This part was really boring. So in the next, I'm just going to add some like book pages and some vintage note paper and stuff that I have. Yeah, and I'm going to take some of that like really neat from the botanical book that I had, and I'm going to join those papers together, I think. Or maybe I could use them for like tags instead. They're so small compared to this, so we're folding it this way. And I'm going to put my glue gun aside. And so we're building signatures now. And I think that we're going to have to be happy with 4 or something similar to that in every signature. And some musical note paper. And it was like a good size for this. In this journal. So I'm happy about that. Let's see, we have 4 of these and 4 of these. There's 4. I think this like front page was kinda cute, so we're going to use this at the beginning of this signature. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one is going to be like 3, and that makes it 4 signatures. Study for the left hand. That's interesting. And some can make this into really nice pockets if you glue this down and like fold it like this. I've seen quite a few crafters doing that, so a little bit bad now. It was fun watching. Next time I will craft as well if I watch you craft. I need to sleep now to get to sleep. Oh, sleep well, Matilda, and I hope to see you next time. I think that for the sewing part we're going to like going to take this in the last signature because this was only three papers. We're going to move the camera up a bit for the sewing part because it's going to be hard to see what I'm doing otherwise. Just to I'm not really sure because the books that I have here I might want to use them, so here like a box. I'm not really sure what's in this box. Oops. Let's see if I can. So how about this angle? Can you see my really messy craft table now? Is this better? I feel like that's what we're doing. We're moving up and up and up. Okay, so we're going to keep going with this. So I'm going to make like a template for the pages, just to know where I'm going to poke my holes. On the other hand, it's not that many papers to poke or that many holes to poke through now that it's lace here, but I think that I'm going to use the lace as well. I was just thinking if I should use something more than but I don't think that I'm going to add something more here than this. I'm going to stick with this and then add stuff in the like embellishment process. So you know, now that I think of it, it's not going to be, there's really no point in poking holes here. It's mostly lace, so I'm just going to wing it and sew it through somehow. Maybe if I like add it with clips to, not to the cover, but to the part that I'm sewing it down. I'm going to be so very happy to throw this away in the future. So, here we go. This is like the tricky part. How am I going to add this here? I was thinking that I could use, I I really like using the silk in my journals and in every other project. To be honest, I use it a lot. But right now I'm not really sure, because I want it to be like a protection from the spine to break, because it might do that if I like mistreat it somehow. But yeah, anyway we're using Tyvek in the spine. Just to strengthen it up as much as possible. So I find that, you know, some people use like chipboard or several layers of pattern paper, but I like to use Tyvek because of the sturdiness and yeah, new glue pot needed. And I saw that just now. Maybe you typed it like 5 minutes ago. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at reading the chat, but it's kind of. But to be fair, I have used this bottle. I've refilled it like 3 times now. So I guess it's time for a new one. And I thought that the other one that I bought was going to be the new one, and then it turned out that it was a very strange kind of, I don't know what this is. This is tea stain. It turned out to be really strange, and I couldn't figure out how to get the glue out without getting glue everywhere. So it was kind of tricky, hard. So now we're gluing this together just to make the binding super duper strong. And I was thinking either we could use like strips of, if I have some of the stained muslin left, probably not, because I measured to like get the right size for the journal. So we're probably just going to use paper here, like this paper. Paper. Yes, that's what we're doing. We're going to use this paper and just glue it on top. Or is this, no, it's too boring. I'm going to use something else. You know, I have lots of stuff like old wallpaper samples and things like that I never use. And you might think that I could take some of that stuff out and use it once in a while, but turns out it's really difficult. to like find the right opportunity for. And to get to match, that's like the tricky part. The thing with this is that I have to, like, when I glue the other paper over it, I guess I could use like the leave the edges. Yes. So I'm going to just glue it in the middle and then leave the edges. Is that making any sense? And then I'm going to glue like the pattern paper on the sides underneath. Yes. So this is just tea stained, nothing special. I'm using a red tea that I don't like the taste. I bought it and I didn't like it at all, so I use it for staining papers and stuff, so nothing gets thrown away. So when I'm crunching it up a little bit, I like it when it's sticking out, looking all crunchy and worn, like this. And I was thinking that I'm going to make a tassel for this, but I don't think that I have time to do that tonight. I think that making the binding and gluing it together is basically what you have time for today. But I had a request for a tutorial, so I'm going to make a tutorial for the tassel that I made for, and for the ship themed journal, and the one that I sent to Christy. And I was hoping that I could find like more of that charm. It looks like it's a golden crown, and I would like to have that in more like at least a silver as well. Could be kind of nice. I really love the gold one as well. It's very, very pretty. So this is like the hardest part. I guess you could use like got the tip last time I made a journal that I could use like ledger paper, and it's a great idea. I just haven't got around to get some. So I just want to make sure this, I could have done this before, you know, I glued the fabric on, but I'm not the plan ahead kind of person really. So I'm going to have to go a little bit about eye measurement here. So let's say that this is going to be the thickness of the book. Let's say 4.5. And I know that this curved piece is like 6, but the curve, no, it's actually still 6. So let's say that I hate math. Yeah, the crown charm at the top, it has looked great. Yes, I really loved it. Actually, it was the inspiration for the whole tassel. 4 split in 3. I'm not making any sense at all right now. It's 6, so we have 1 centimeter on each side. And let's see, how wide is this? That's what I was going to check last. I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Så 1,5 från kanten. This is 6, I think. We're going to have to make like guidelines here now. And I'm going to try to cut this without cutting through the fabric. Well, I could just fold the fabric aside, of course, because it's not glued down here. Look, I'm so clever sometimes. So let's see. This is just to make the measuring easier, because I do really hate math, and the only reason I got into like measuring and stuff was because everything turned out crooked when I started out because I wouldn't measure. So this is 6, and no, it's 8.5. And I could use a calculator. I don't have one here. With 3/4 of an inch either side work. Yeah. The problem is that I don't have inches on this ruler. So I think I have another 3/4 of an inch. I could like measure it here. This is like high level of smart making. Three-fourths of an inch from this side, and I'm going to have to make like a guide mark here for my first signature. Yeah, I think this could work. Actually, I'm going to try it out, or maybe 1/2 of an inch, because it's like 3¼ of an inch, and I'm going to add 4 signatures. Oh, my head hurts. So let's see, I add one here and like here. But that's more like for 3 signatures, and I think I need to split it up even more. If I do one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, wouldn't be good either. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe that could, but they get really close together. What happens if I do 1/2 here? Do 1/2 and another 1/2. So I don't know. This is really hard. This is really hard. You know, because I'm making it harder for myself than it actually is. So I need like, this is 8.5, and I need 6 is going to be like the part that's over. This part is 6, so I need like 6 centimeters in the middle, like that. And yeah, 3/4, 3, maybe 3. That was 3/4 of my inch. But what if I do 5/6? Now I have like a million of these marks, but from like the side, because that's a little bit more than 1.5. That's too small. But I think we're just going to have to wing it. Sometimes you can't stay up all night and measure stuff. So I think this is 1 and that is 1, and just make like the first signature here and the second one here. I think it's what you said basically. So now this part, so now we're just going to make 2 more signatures, like so. What if I do one here? So it's not, it's crazily uneven. But it's because I'm not holding it straight. At least I think so. I don't know, maybe this one is the one that's crooked. So this is what we got right now. It looks really bad. Just over 1.5 centimeter. You can't go wrong with junk journals, though. That's the great thing. Yeah. Okay. How far do you leave between them? I think that I have 2 measurements here, but I'm just going to like, yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm doing really, and which guidelines that's the correct ones. I think this one is, I'm going to have to mark that out with a pencil. And now everything is on the floor, and that's fine as well. So here we are, and the pencil is not the right tool for this, so I'm going to use something else. We're trying this one. I just hope this will not smudge everywhere. Here's our guide, and here's the next one. And there's going to be a bigger gap in the middle, but we just have to like, I think that it's a good thing, these bigger gaps, because then you can add an additional signature, and I do that sometimes, mostly when I haven't, you know, measured correctly, and like, or maybe I didn't have enough signatures at the time, or I made like, yeah, if I made a mistake, for instance, then I just do like a thin strip of paper, or a thin strip of Tyvek, and a thin strip of paper or lace or whatever fabric. In the small like cream and pink journal with a cameo front, I did exactly that. I added a signature because there was a gap. So, and I just glue it on top of whatever it is that I am have as a binding. Just glue it on top, and it's, you know, sits really well. So, and it's really good for adding extra signatures. So that's what I'm doing, and I you know, can add one later on if I want. And for tassels, I always save these like threads, at least from this beautiful silk fabric, because they are shiny, and you know, I can also, if you twist them like this, they will turn into like a thread or yarn or something, and I use that for tassels as well, like this. You have to twist it more than I did, but you can see that it turns into like a yarn or thread. And I do this when I save them, just so it won't get very tangled. So I can save them like this, and then I use them to make tassels, like small tassels or big tassels, or I just add them together with like fabric scraps, and so they will be like, yeah, tassels with a lot going on. Yes, binding. Okay, so the next thing is so much easier. It's just to like measure on this, and we could say that it's roughly 24, and we're just going to split that with an even number, and I think that is 6. Yes, it is 6, but that will only make it 3. So we're making it 3 instead. Or should we? 24, 6. Is 3 binding points enough? That's the question. Let's see what happens. Doesn't have to be perfect after all. I think that 3 is enough. And it's a little bit taller on this side, but in the end I don't think it's going to matter that much. And so this is what we've got here. So the first signature is going to be a little bit inside the edge. So I am going to take my first signature, and I'm not really sure about this actually. We might have to do something about that. I don't know how it's going to look when you flip it through. Maybe I just add more glue to it. So on one side, oh, I have to do it on the other side, like this. So I guess that I'll just pin it to this here, or at least well, this is an experiment, so we're doing it like an experiment. All crazy, all crazy. So, and we're going to use the glue poking. Silk is gorgeous fabric to work with. Math isn't my strong point, no. I'm horrible at math, so. But yeah, I love the like muted shine to silk, and you can't really get this from polyester fabric. It's so totally different from a real silk fabric. So, and when you wear it, it's like you know, it's such a big difference from polyester. I can't really wear polyester anymore, or I think I never could. It's just that I get more annoyed now when like my clothes like itch or make me sweat or something like that, you know. Polyester is horrible. It's both itchy and make me sweat and everything that's bad about fabrics and clothings. Now there's like glue here, so I can't use this needle anymore. I think I'm going to have to do something about that sometime. Or maybe it's just my like glue poking needle now. And I have to use this one instead. Come on! Come on! There we go. Yeah, raw silk is really great to wear. Don't get the opportunity though that much. It's mostly cotton fabrics, and is it viscose? Viscose? I'm not really sure what it's called in English, but that's also really nice to wear. So here we're going to start here. Just poke it through. I'm just going to make sure that it's like lined up here somehow. This is going to be impossible to get like straight, so I guess I'm not really going to try that much. I want to get it as straight as possible at the same time, because I don't really like crooked things, so will this work? No, it won't. Of course not. I don't know what I was expecting, really. Don't try this at home, or try this at home. Results may vary. Ouch! This needle is very sharp. So, and I just realized that I have no idea where I'm going to hit my mark, so I'm going to have to like wing it a little bit. And just hope for the best. But it seems to work out. I think we're good. I think this is working. But it's impossible to say. So I think I'm going to like sew through one more time, perhaps. I think that it could be a good thing to do that. This is our first signature. I think this is going to work out. But I should probably... Oops. Yeah, I'm sewing through one more time here just to make sure that it's nice and tight. This is another thread. So my next one, oh no, I didn't expect this to get so tight. Huh. Anyway, I'm just going to tie it off with that little loop left there. I forgot what I was going to say, but it's okay. See if I think I'm going to do it with like a double thread, the next one. Instead of doing it 2 times. It's like twice as much time to mess it up on. And I don't want to mess it up. So actually I think this works out. Like when you flip the pages, this is what they're going to look like. And yeah, I think it works, even though there's like a flap here. Maybe I could do something with this. Or just add some more glue to like get it to stick down a little bit better. I'll have to think about that. But it works and it's not terribly crooked. I just have to like be careful and not mess the other signatures up. So let's see here. For Christmas last year I made 5 journals with scrapbooking papers and had crazy patchwork fabric covers and used seam binding to sew in signatures as I wanted to tie it on the outside and look pretty. Boy, were they hard to sew in. Yeah, I can understand that. Seam binding is, yeah, good for binding seams, I suppose, but kind of wiggly, and I guess that it didn't really cooperate very well with the paper. Yes, I'm going to flip this so it won't like get all over the place. So something like this. I wasn't making junk journals last Christmas, and it's kind of sad because I got all these like amazing Christmas papers from Studio Light, but I never really got time to use them. I made this little birdhouse, but that was about it. Yeah, I made a shaker one as well that for some reason has like the highest, one of the highest ratings and views of all my videos is the shaker one and the bridal album. And I understand the bridal album because it's very popular and people want, you know, to make albums for their weddings. But the shaker ones, I've never really, you know, figured out what shaker ones are for, except, you know, shaking. And still people make them like crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe it's a like kid thing for kids. I guess like most of the Christmas things are for kids mostly, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of fun, but you know, it's some stuff like I wonder what they are for, besides decoration, of course. But I'm not really a very decorative person, if I should say that. I like to have like pictures in frames, and I made some, you know, layouts, but you know, I don't really keep things for decoration. Mostly I want my stuff to have like a function of some sort. Hard as it was, thick to get through the thick patchwork cover. Oh yes, I can really relate to that. My journals were junk journals. They did have signatures, but they were all new papers. Yeah, more like a diary, blank journal. And I guess that it's more to people who are not crafters and who don't make junk journals. it's like I didn't really know what to do with a junk journal in the beginning either, before I like got into making junk journals. And then my journals are very like functional. They have lots of blank papers, even though I add like tags and flip outs and, you know, things for decoration. But I guess it's like everything else in my that I make and that I own. It's like that, even though I want things to be pretty, I want them to be functional. So yes, I want like lots of space for journaling and for photos, and also I want the papers to like really hold up for to be used. Like I don't like to use very brittle old papers. I use old and vintage papers, but mainly I use like the thick bamboo paper, just so the journal can be used for even mixed media, if that's what the person wants. I made so many shaker ones, a few of my grandchildren, but I was going to take them to craft markets to sell. Yeah, I guess that it's a thing for children mostly, and they are kind of fun to shake around, and they are very pretty if you make them pretty, of course. And I guess that it's a fun gift to give to someone, of course. But yeah, and I don't really sell a lot of stuff that I make. I have an Etsy shop now, and I've made one sale so far, and I've also like made albums and cards for friends. And when my mom you know, showed her had like an, I'm not sure what you call it, but when she kept her craft studio open, she's an artist, and she was showing her art there. She also showed like some of my albums and stuff, and I sold quite a lot of my cards, so I was really happy about that, and she was very kind to let me show my stuff, even though it was supposed to be about her and her art. So it was kind of fun. So I'm going to ask like a local shop here if they would like to hold my cards and maybe sell them. It's like a gift shop. And there's like a flower shop as well. I'm going to ask the owner there too if she wants to sell my cards. But at first I have to make some cards because I sold most of them now. Can you see what I'm doing? Or am I out of frame again? And too much of the pretty side of things. I can see my first junk journal, which I plan to do a sewing theme. Would be a lot of mixture of fabric, lace, and papers. Always sounds like it's going to be really, really pretty. And I've been thinking about making like a sewing themed journal as well, and I haven't really got into. I've looked for like old books with like sewing patterns and stuff like that, and they seem to be very popular, so it's really hard to get a hold of them, at least in Sweden. I've heard that it's a very popular thing, and I really want like vintage stuff, and but I do have some stamps with like corset and stuff like that. But yeah, I want to make a journal with a lot of sewing. It's just that I never get around to taking out my sewing machine because I can't do that when my son is awake, because he is like so incredibly curious about everything and wants to like sit on my lap and work while I'm working on what I'm working at the same time as I'm working, or like take over whatever I'm doing. This one turned out a little bit higher than the other ones, but I don't think it really matters. I'm going to keep it like that. So, well, I don't take out my sewing machine that much. And it's kind of sad because it makes a very nice, you know, accent to junk journals when you have sewing in them. And since I really love to sew as well, I would love to make a junk journal with a sewing theme. But I haven't really gotten around to that yet. But I really hope I will. And when I have like used up some of my present stash and I can buy some more, I'm going to get like one of those kits with sewing themed stuff in it. Oh, don't forget the clips. Don't forget the clips. Oh, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to have to pop into Kristi's channel and look at the video. I'm so excited about it. I keep thinking about that. I think this will be a little bit lower than the other signatures. Let's do it more. I tried to take it out of the same hole and it didn't really work out very well. Let's see if I can. There we go. So I want this to be like at the same height as the other one. Other ones maybe here. I think it's even more. I tried to correct it in the wrong direction. Okay, third time's the charm now. And I did like the same. It's this lace. So there we go. How about here? Oh, it's the same hole. Never mind, I'm just going to put it there. It doesn't really matter. I haven't got any yet of vintage sewing original books. I remember when my boys were young, I used to sew during nap time or at night. Yeah, I did that when Ivar was a baby. I did some sewing. There's never really time now. And nap time is like half an hour. I like remember the times when nap time was 2 hours, then there was really time for sewing and such things. Not surprised that anything vintage in Australia costs a lot. Even our second-hand stores charge way too much. Christy loved her gifts. She seems like such a sweet lady. Yes, she's a very sweet lady. Indeed, she's a very sweet lady. So, and I'm really happy she likes her gifts. I'll pop in it and have a look. Oh, so little thread to tie on. I'm working out of frame again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So here's our signatures all sewed into the binding, and I guess it looks kind of decent. This is a little bit higher than the other ones, but I don't really think that matters that much. And so yeah, and here's our cover. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add like glue. I want to cover like this part up a little bit, and I don't think folding this is going to be enough. I think that I could just make some strips of fabric and glue it like just on the top, or maybe I should like cover the whole thing. I'm not really sure. What should I do with that? Do we have some like nice lace I can put there? Well, I do have a lot of nice laces, but which one are we using? Oopsie. How about like this one? I could just make it peep out a little bit, but you can still see the black stuff here, and I don't really like that. So we're going to have to do something about that. I think just like a strip of on an actual book, there's like this little roll to cover the whole. Is that what we're doing? Maybe something like this? No, I don't think so. Well, I guess it depends on how far you can look down, because it's going to be glued down here. You can't really see that much of the black. No, you can't really see the black. So I'm just going to cover it with some lace like this. Just hopefully it's not going to be very visible. And I think I'm going to do like 2 different kind of laces, doing like the same length here. To make it even more fancy schmancy. So like this. Is it the exact length now? No. Yeah, I love both of these laces are very pretty, and I think they are going to look very nice together. Maybe like the white here, and then the other one like on top. So it's going to be, yes, yes, that's what we're doing. But maybe, I think I'm going to cut like the side off here, just that thing annoys me there, the flap. So we're going to have like two things sticking up beside, and we're going to take our glue poking needle again. And I'm going to take some more off of this one as well, just because I like. Maybe I could even fold it. No, we're doing this. There we go. And just put it on top here. This lace would like to stay in place. There. Please stay in place. I have more lace to glue here. And I don't want to use hot glue because it gets so bulky. So there's the first two laces. Here's like the second side. I'm going to snip some off on this one as well. I don't know why this one won't stick all of a sudden. So, and I guess it's going to be fine because this part is not going to be glued down anyway. It's just going to be like added to the yeah, to here. So, and now I'm going to add glue like on the sides, and I have some red sticky tape that I'm going to add here. So I think that I'm going to take like one side at a time. I'm just pressing the tape down. Now I'm going to put this aside for a little bit. I think that I'm going to take, yeah, I'm going to take one side at a time once I glue it down as well, just to, or should I? You know, there's no right or wrong answers. Some people, when you watch them, I don't know if they stream though, but you know, in videos they sound so incredibly confident and just do things and put, no! Glue stains! So this is what it's going to look from up top when it's attached. attached. I think it turns out really nice. I really like how this looks. And so, this, I don't want this to end up like here, so that's quite kind of a problem. I just have to, it looks like it's going to be fine. So I guess the sticky tape is going to be like directly here on the edge, and then I'm going to add glue like on the edge here. And I just hope that I'm doing it right, you know, gluing one side, and we'll have to see how the other side is going to work out. But I'm just going to like place it exactly where I want it to sit. And I guess it would be like right here. And then like work my way to the edges. Something like this. Okay, now it's attached on this side. So I'm just going to do the same thing here. And I have pressed it down here. Oh, thank you, Fiona. Pokey pokey. There. Maybe I can get some glue now, please. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. Pressing and pressing and pressing to take this little tool here to do this. On this side, and then on this side. So here's a gap. Sorry for punching the microphone. You see the gap there? But when I close my book, it looks like this. And when I open it, it lies flat like this. Actually, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I must say, this is one of my most interesting journals so far. I'm not really sure about this though, but you know, and it looks a bit wavy here, and that's because I'm using like Tyvek instead of paper. It's Tyvek and fabric, so it looks a little bit wavy, but I think that's going to be fine. If I add my signature a little bit closer together, it's not going to show. It's just going to be it's just going to look like normal. So, but I will figure something out about these edges. Probably I'll just add some more glue to that. So, and I think I'm going to use some, I have like this paper from Studio Light, but I don't have like big enough sheets for this, so I will have to patch them together a bit. But the gap is exactly how they make them. Yeah, exactly. Like actual bookmakers, or what you would call them. I'm still a bit annoyed about the Tyvek shining through. I might have to do something about that. I think that in the future I'm just going to cover the whole thing, or just add it to the inside maybe, and just, if I only use fabric on the outside, it's going to be fine with the gap, and then I use the Tyvek on the inside when I first bind it together, and then I can just add the glue on top, or the binding on top of the Tyvek that holds the spine together. Probably I'm going to have to make some more experimenting with that. And let's see where I have the leftover papers from Blue Fern Studios. Did I say Studio Light? I meant Blue Fern Studios. I have these very pretty papers left from another journal that I made. I might need to crunch them up a little bit. It's called Attic Charm. Beautiful papers. And I have like my favorites I've already used, like this one is one of my favorites. And is it this one? This is a journaling card. Yeah, this is why I've cut this apart. It's journaling cards. I think I'm going to use these in this journal. But the clocks are really nice. Guess I could just use them on this, like this. Doesn't really matter that they go in the other direction. I don't think so, at least. And this, I'm going to leave this loose, I think, or I might just glue it down. So I'm going to use the clocks, and I'm going to use this one on the other side. And as it turns out, I don't have to patch it together at all. And I'm just going to like have the blue underneath here. No, I can just cut that off actually. I think I'm going to do that. So let's take this out. So what's the exact size here? And I'm going to make like a little mark here. You can cover it up this time. Very pretty papers. Yes, actually I think that Blue Fern Studios makes gorgeous papers most of the time. I have used this collection, and then I've used another one that's called Memories for one of my more like vintage journals. And I also got the sea themed collection. But this is my absolute favorite. charm. Very shabby chic. Beautiful collection. They're the exact same size. Okay. But I don't know why I was thinking that I could cut the blue off then. I don't know. I might just cover it up with some lace. That's going to work out fine, and I think I'm going to distress this up a little bit. We could use, let's try antique linen first. Maybe I'll use a mix like of antique linen. Yeah, maybe it's the Chronicles. This is from the other Grandeur collection. The thing with antique linen is many times you can't really see it. And you like keep distressing and distressing and distressing, and it's like, oh, I can't see anything. Nothing is happening. But I think this is a mix with antique linen and vintage photo. So that's why it pops up, turns up so much. Or maybe it's like the yellow one, I'm not really sure. Doesn't really matter, I think it looks good, so it's okay. Anyway, yes, that's what we're doing. And here on the other side, we're going to put this to the side. I'm doing the same thing, and then I'm going to add like a little, not really a splash, but a little touch of vintage photo as well, just to get like the coffee color in there. But that's walnut stain. I don't think I have vintage photo lying around here, so we're going to use a little bit of walnut stain instead. And the thing with antique linen is, depending on what kind of paper you're using, sometimes it looks like brown, sometimes it looks beige, and it can even look green on some papers. I think that's kind of strange. But, and I guess what kind of light you have matters as well. But still, find it kind of funny. Let's see, I have another distressing tool. This, like, distressing tools are getting really old. I should get a new one. Or like the sponge part, at least. And this is the biggest journal I made so far. So it's going to be a lot of fun going into journaling. I was thinking that I should make like a journal with me, both streams and like videos of the process. And I guess that I take more time for journaling. I do journal sometimes, but not as much as I would like to. I would like to journal a lot more than I do, but it's always something that I want to do. So yeah, this is what happened last time. it's like too big. I'll have to cut the piece off. That's what I need to do. And then just glue the fabric on top. And I think it's going to be fine. And I want to mount my cutter on the wall, just so I don't have to like take it up and down because it's so big. So now it turns out that it was too much. No, it's just a perfect amount. And then I'm going to glue the silk fabric on top, so that's going to be fine as well. Good. And then I'm going to make a pocket maybe with some lace. Glue, 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 glue. There, here we go. I think the edges are what's most important. I want like to get the same distance here before anything else. There, and then I'm just going to do the same thing here, or the same thing. I think you know what I mean. Know what I mean? Oh, and of course the blue shines through a little bit, but I don't really think that it matters so much. And I think I'm going to do like a large pocket here, maybe with note paper. Or something. Or I could have added some note paper here and like made a, yeah, it's too late for that now. Maybe the next one. I'm going to make a ton of these journals. And I thought it was so fun now that I realized that I could make the curved spine. I don't really know how it's going to be to work in this journal, but I think that it's going to be really easy because it lies so flat. It does like wiggle a little bit, but I don't think that that's going to be a problem. But we'll just have to see. I've only had like smaller journals before and like store-bought journals. I've never made a journal for myself. I've only like made junk journals to other people. So this is the first one that I made for me. That's going to be very interesting to get into, and I'm actually really excited to get into journaling. I'm not going to have time for it this week, unfortunately, but I'm going to work on that. And I'm going to make some of these curved journals for my Etsy shop as well. And maybe some in this size, just to, but I have to look into if I can get like the same quality paper in like a bigger size, just to, so I can make this without patching the papers together, because that was really a process. And if I'm going to sell the journals, I think I'm going to have to add lace on both sides. So that's going to be like a ton of lace, or maybe just muslin scraps, I guess I could use, but it's still a lot of gluing. So here's the journal, and I'm actually really happy with how it turned out, especially this part. This is really gorgeous. So and I don't think that I really have time to work on the cover. It took a lot more time than I took. I'm going to get going. I need to make breakfast as I had my medication. I will make sure I watch the end later. Thank you so much for your time in teaching this tutorial of the curved spine. Thank you so much for watching, Fiona. I'm so happy you came back to watch me again, and yeah, you take care too. I'm going to end the stream here, so thank you everyone who's been watching and stick with me this time. I really hope you had fun and that I'm going to see you. I'm streaming again on Saturday at the same time, so yeah, I hope I'll see you again, and take care everyone. I'm trying to get the client up here. All right, bye.